Alright, here we are with Pandemic, the brand new app from Z-Man Games, of course a game by Matt Leacock. Most of you know Pandemic. It's one of the more popular board games worldwide in terms of cooperative play, and we're going to take a quick look at the actual gameplay here. Now this is the first time I'm opening this, so I'm going to learn with you here. So we're going to go ahead and click New Game, and then we get a menu here. It says I've never played Pandemic. I've played Pandemic before, but not this version, and I know what I'm doing. Let me save the world. So let's take a look at what happens when you say I've never played Pandemic. Alright, so as you can see, there is the new artwork from the new release of Pandemic on here, which makes quite a good amount of sense. And it says 4 diseases are spreading across the world. Touch this box to continue, and hopefully don't get one of those diseases. Your objective is to discover the cure for all 4 diseases to then win the game. And the animations look very slick, as you can tell, and this is something that we've seen in a couple of gameplay videos already from Z-Man Games. At the start of the game, your team will be dealt cards to help them travel the world and cure diseases. Well, we know most of this already, so let's keep going on. Or maybe not. You can see your team's cards at any time by opening the tray to the right, so that seems like the major area to be able to get your cards from. There you go. I'm looking, everyone's color-coded just like the game is. This is after you receive your cards, you'll see the current status of the world's infections. You can see, it looks like they're orbs spinning around each of the, or cubes spinning around each of the cities that are getting infected with how many there are. That's kind of a nice touch. Alright, your team must fight the spread of the diseases while coordinating to discover the cures. You control each player in turn. Excuse me. Oh, a little bit too fast there. You have 4 actions per turn. Use them wisely. Your options are on the bottom of the screen. Move, share, pass. Okay, so that's cool. It kind of lights up what you can do and what you can't do. So let's go ahead and move to Washington. Let's see if that works. No, move. Okay, for now, move medic to Washington. Hey, look at that. We had the right idea. Select the move icon at the bottom of the Washington map. Move and go to Washington. You can move to any city connected to your location. You have used up one of your 4 actions by moving. Now we can treat. Look at that, we've cured all because we are the medic. Now normally you only get to cure 1 disease, but because we're the medic we get to cure all the diseases. There are more infections in Madrid, but you can't move directly there from Washington. The cities are not connected. It takes 2 city actions to get to Madrid. First, move to New York. There we go. The animations seem very smooth. Now move from New York to Madrid. Now that you note that you can double tap on the city to move there instead of... Okay, there you go. Look at that. Great. Unfortunately, you can't treat any of these infections. We'll deal with them on the next turn. So that gives you a little bit of idea of the tutorial. The tutorial's pretty darn good, actually. Not too shabby. Let's see if we can go back from here. Looks like exit game, and yes, are you sure you want to exit game later? Yes, we can do that. So you can either resume your game from here or you can start a new game. And if you start a new game, it looks like your saved game will be erased. So it looks like there's only 1 game that you can have per session or per open. In terms of options, pretty basic. There is a camera motion between animated and instant, so you can just jump to the action. And then view full map on turn start, hide disabled actions, confirm actions that cost cards, and pause before draw steps. So that's actually kind of nice. There's a couple of better options than you would normally think of. There's a little eye down here, which will probably give you all the information, the publisher, and all that stuff, which is kind of cool. But so far, looks pretty slick, must say. So that is a first look at Pandemic. Hope you like it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try and play a little bit of a regular game now as well. Show you that, and we'll see how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and click New Game, erase our old game. We're going to say that I know what I'm doing. Let me save the world. Alright, so from here, we now have the option of, it looks like, naming our team, and then either possibly getting a random... Oh, look, we can still get to the tutorial if we want. That's kind of nice. You can touch a random roll, or you can touch to assign a roll. So we can do random if we want. So, or we can choose the medic. Let's choose the medic, and we'll choose the scientist, and then we'll make the others random and see how it goes. It looks like difficulty, you have standard, introductory, heroic, and those are the same levels as the main game. And then info mode, you can do on or off. Let's leave that on and see what happens. Let's go ahead and begin game. So we've got Rima, the quarantine specialist, Thomas, the medic, Judith, the ops expert, and Stefan the scientist, who apparently has very long hair and looks very feminine. So, again, 4 diseases are spreading the world. It looks like we're going to get those messages the same from the tutorial here, so it's kind of a combination of gameplay and the tutorial. And again, animations are very, very smooth in this, so it looks really, really good. So far for $6.99, I'm pretty happy with it. There's been a couple of games very similar to Pandemic. There was one called Epidemic, I think, and it never quite felt the same as playing a true game of Pandemic, so we'll have to see how this falls out and plays out, but so far I'm enjoying it. So here we can see we have our cards, Chennai and Moscow. We are all, of course, in Atlanta, because that's where the Center for Disease Control begins. And from there we spread out. And in this game it looks like everything's in Europe. There's really not much in America. There's a little bit in South America, so we might want to go ahead and move straight to Moscow. So we will go ahead and do direct flight to Moscow and get all the way over there. Then we're going to go ahead and treat that disease. And then we can, let's see, where is Chennai in relation? Chennai would put us down there. That's not too great, but let's go ahead. No, don't want to move to Chennai. We'll move here to Takan, and we will treat that disease as well. And event cards can be played out of turn. Yes, we know that. Whenever you have the opportunity to play an event card button appears. Just get playing cards and proceed to the next, touch the continue button. Alright, continue draw step. There we go. So that was our first full turn, not too bad. And it looks like each player is going to get that draw and then moves on to the next player. Continuing the next infection. Alright, Osaka. Staying over in Europe, which is good. And Shanghai, which is staying over in Europe, which is good. The infection rate number indicates the cards. Okay, that's where it is. It's kind of small. I don't know if you can see that. It's really kind of small. But it's good to have them up there. I wish that was possibly a little bigger, but, you know, again, animations are good, artwork is good, so we'll see how that works. Alright, Thomas's turn. And you know what I'm curious about, and we haven't talked about yet, is can I... Yes. I can click on my guy, and I can see the role that my guy plays. So in this case, Thomas is the medic. He removes all cubes of one color when doing and treat disease. Automatically removes cubes of cured diseases from the city you are in. So that was cool. I wanted to make sure I could see that. So we have our cities here, Tokyo and Baghdad. That's pretty good. Tokyo would get us near Osaka and Shanghai. Baghdad would get us over near most of the action happening, actually. So let's go ahead and move to Baghdad, because we can do a direct flight, and then we can cure all those diseases. And then we're going to move our way down to... Let's see if we can do this. There we go. And then we'll double tap there to make sure we're there to get the next turn. So far the... Uh-oh, epidemic. Alright, here's our first epidemic. Oh, that's kind of nice. Screen goes green. Looks like the Matrix. And the infection rate marker moves one position. The infection rate comes down. You see that. You know, there's also an outbreak track, which is kind of nice. And then it tells you about all the rules, of course, as to what happens, and then we're going to get more people. And of course, this is where everything goes back over to America, probably, in South America. So let's see what happens here. Infect cities. Bogota? Uh-oh, we have an outbreak already. That's not good. That was painful. Alright. And then, that's kind of a good animation. It's kind of cool. Survey says Osaka. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, there you go. So that gives you an idea of a couple of turns of gameplay. It is very smooth. It is very good looking. And looks to be well worth the $6.99 on the App Store. So just to see what we got here, we have a forecast. It says look at and arrange the top 6 cards of the infection deck. We'll go ahead and show you how it looks to play that too. So we'll play an event card. We'll play, does not count as an action, we know that. Yeah, alright, we'll play forecast. And then this is the animation you get. It's kind of nice. It gives you a really good animation. So let's say we just want to put Paris there, and Moscow there, and finished. There you go. So that gives you an idea of playing a couple of different things inside the game. Again, looks very, very good. This is not meant to be a review of anything because we literally just downloaded it and got it, but we wanted to shoot a couple of action shots and show you what it looks like. So if you're interested, you can go check it out in the App Store right now, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of stuff on Z-Man's page, on their Facebook, and on their Twitter today. So that is Pandemic on iOS 7.